Okay guys, welcome back to this tutorial which is on HTML and CSS. Now in this tutorial I'm still talking about some HTML tags which is very vital in website building. Now in this tutorial we are going to talk about subscript and superscript, how we can use them in our code to raise a certain word to the top of another word or bring a certain word beneath another word. For example, if you have CO2 and you want to turn it into carbon dioxide, you can use the subscript to do that. So enough of talking, let's start writing some codes. And first let me start with a header. So I'll introduce a heading and I'll call this superscript. After that I need to close that heading, so with the difference of a forward slash I will close that. Now that I have this, let me go ahead and introducing some paragraph text. So I'll say what I want to say is 6th March Independence Day. After that I need to close my paragraph text. Now I introduce another paragraph text, and this one what I'll say is I'll say something like there is an amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. Very important, I have to close my paragraph text. Now let me save this, reload it in the browser, and let's see what we've got. So I'll open my browser, reload, and now superscript is the header, that's the H1, and 6th March is Independence Day. There's an amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. Now what we want to do is we want the 6th to come on top of the 6th. So we just want this to be a superscript of that or something. So what we will do is we are going to use a tag called the sup. So I'll do sup, and now I need to close it. So I'll say sup closed. Save this. Now reload in the browser, and now when I zoom in, you see I have the th on top of my 6 like so. Now what I want to do again is I want this 2 to be beneath the CO. Okay, so what I can do is I'll come to where my 2 is and I'll introduce the subscript. So I'll type CUB for short, and that is the right tag to use. After that I need to close my sub. Okay, so I'll close that with the difference of a forward slash, Control S to save. Now let's reload in the browser, and when I zoom in, you are now going to see that my 2 is now a subscript of this. Okay, so that's how we can make something superscript and subscript in HTML using this simple tags. Now as I said in the previous tutorial, in case I want Independence Day to be strong or to be bolded, I can use this strong, and after that I need to close it where I want it to end. So this time around it's ending after a space and a word, which is day. Okay, so I have independence space day, and I want that to end over here, so I need to close it here. And I can also use the emphasis on the CO2. So if I want to do that, I'll say EM, and now I have to close it over here, EM. Control S to save. Now let me reload this, and as you see I have Independence Day, which is strong, and also the CO2 is italicized. Okay, and I did that with the EM as we see on line 10 over here. Now another thing we can do is, let's say we want to quote something from somewhere. Okay, so first let me introduce another paragraph, and now I want to quote Charles Chaplin, what one of his favorite quotes, and after that we are going to show that we are quoting Charles Chaplin using HTML tag. Okay, so what I'll write now is Charles Chaplin, forgive me if I spelled that wrong. Charles Chaplin once said, okay, and I'll say what he said: I like walking in the rain because no one sees my tears. And I'll close the paragraph. Okay, so this is a quote from Charles Chaplin, and now we want to put this in quotes. Now we can do this and close it here. Okay, now let's save that and reload in the browser. Okay, now it's working for us, but sometimes we cannot always use this when we want to use, when we move forward. We are really going to understand when we start adding PHP to our codes. Okay, so the best way to do this is to use a tag, okay, which is the kill tag. So I'll introduce kill over here, and I have to close kill over here as well. And now when I save and reload, as you see, the kill is also quoting what Charles said in quotes, as we are seeing over here, like so. Okay, so I think that is it for this tutorial, and meet me in my upcoming tutorial. Bye.